Let's bring in Rocco Mediate. I'm sure we're the only show that called for him, to talk about the 10-year anniversary.
Yeah.
Is that right, Rocco? We're the only show that called, right?
The only one. Yeah, the only one. No, I haven't done a lot of them, but when you guys called, I went, well, you can't say no to Dan. I mean, that would be just stupid. So,
well, we had you on the day after, and I don't know if you realized just what it was. I mean, you had to feel proud of how you played against Tiger, but
oh, sure.
What do you remember about that whole week and then that extra day you had with the playoff with Tiger?
Yeah, the whole week, it was one of those weeks, obviously Opens, I feel like you're either playing great at the U.S. Open or you're just there. And I was playing great before the Open. I played good at Memorial at Mr. Nicklaus's tournament. Then we had a week off and I came, and I was still, obviously still playing good. And I just love Opens. And then Torrey, in an open condition, which none of us have ever seen, is firm and fast, which in February when we played, it's soft and wet and cold. So I knew I was going to like the golf course already because I like USGA setup. So I knew I'd like it. And I knew at 74,000 yards long, like they wanted to have it, I would be okay because the ball is going to move on the ground and, tee shots and stuff. So you didn't have to hit it 4,000 yards. You could just hit it normal and it would run out there where I could play just fine from. And that's what happened.
But that playoff, the day of the playoff, how much did you and Tiger talk?
We talked about a reasonable amount, normal. I didn't go out there trying to overdo anything. I just did what I usually do. I wasn't going to be quieter either. To the people around me, Matthew, my caddy, and just, I talked to a lot of the USGA guys because that's how I get my nervousness out or whatever. I have to talk. So, but Tiger and I definitely talked a little bit. Sure. Absolutely. And I had him laughing a few times because I kept looking, going, what are you doing? Stop it. I mean, just stop it. But, I look at it that way. But I was going to ask you a question.
Okay.
And I've never asked anybody this question. Why do you think people were so intrigued by this? I mean, I kind of know why, because I think it was supposed to be a destruction and a blowout. But what do you think as a guy that's watching it and knows sports, obviously?
I think people looked at you as everyman. I think people saw themselves in you where we knew we couldn't be Tiger, but we saw you were trying to take down the king. You were trying to take down, and you pushed him.
The man, yeah.
And it's not like you didn't lose the U.S. Open. He won it, and there's a difference in that.
Right.
And I think that's what we looked at you and said, oh, my God, he's going toe-to-toe with Mike Tyson here, and you're lasting. Now you extended to another day, and the fact that it was – I think you led after the 14th hole on that playoff
15th,
day.
yeah. On 16, I was one ahead.
Oh, boy. What are you thinking at the time?
Well, what I'm thinking at the time is this is exactly where I thought I was going to be when I woke up. Leading this, I thought when I woke up, and I said this to a few people, and I think some people look at me like I have like three eyes and five legs. I knew when I woke up Monday I was going to win. I knew I was because I knew I was better through the air. And Opens usually are won through the air, tee to green, and then you putt reasonably well, and you have a shot at it. As you'll see this week, probably the leader in fairways and greens probably going to win this tournament at Shinnecock, but. The greatest of all time can do things a lot of different ways. But I also thought was this, Daniel, this is hilarious. So I'm thinking, obviously I watched him for 4 days. I played behind him on Saturday, in front of him on Sunday. I heard things Sunday. I saw the finish on. Basically, I was watching him eagle the last 15 and 18 and whatever he eagled 13 and 18. And I'm watching all that, and I'm also thinking to myself, this man, being the greatest, still can't possibly do this for 5 straight days. It can't happen. So that's what I'm thinking that too. I'm like, well, the odds are against him right now. The odds are always were going to be against me on Monday, but they're against him too because if he hits it like he did the first couple of days, I don't think it can happen. And of course, he did the same thing, and he did the same thing. So. It's just one of those things. I say the greatest of all time players, you name them all, they do great things all the time they do things you're not supposed to do pretty much all the time. That's why they're the greatest of all time.
He's Rocco.
And Tiger has proved that many, 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 many times.
He's Rocco Mediate. It was 10 years ago this week, finished runner-up to Tiger Woods, his best career finish in a major on the PGA Tour. You have sort of some odd fame attached to this, Rocco. Do you think you got more attention because you didn't win as opposed to if you had won that U.S. Open over Tiger Woods?
Yeah, I don't really know. Nothing really amazing can happen out of it except for the people noticed. I definitely got more people knew who I was, of course, because I was playing against Tiger. If it was anybody else in the event, it wouldn't have been the event like that, obviously, because the number one player in the world. But I guarantee you, if I would have won, well, his leg was broken. I mean, of course you're going to beat him, or you know what I mean. But everyone did say though that you heard that. And, well, I have nothing to lose, and this is he has nothing to lose. Well, I did. I had the most coveted thing I want in my sport, which is the U.S. Open trophy. So I did have everything to lose. We both did. We both wanted it more than you could imagine, and only one of us got to have it. So, yeah, and that was the most fun part of it. It was the attempt and the going up against a guy that I respect as much as anybody in golf, and the guy that I watched grow up basically out there. And he became the best guy out there. And it was fun trying to go up and see what I could do with him. And the only way that's going to happen is if you're playing great golf on that type of course. Then there's a shot. Most other places you're going to get taken apart. But the Open levels things out, especially if you're hitting it a little crooked.
Did you understand how injured he was at the time?
Well, what Tiger did when we played, especially Monday, I never noticed anything. I didn't want to think anything. He never showed me anything on Monday as far as hurt, not once. He never went down. He never slowed down. He never did anything. And that's what, the only way he was not going to play is if he couldn't walk or couldn't, or as if, you know what I mean? He was going to play no matter what. Obviously, he showed that the first 4 days. The first couple of days, he looked terrible as far as his, the pain. Mm-hmm. But I didn't see anything Monday. No, and he played pretty good Monday. I mean, obviously he did. But I mean, he was better Monday than he was the other days as far as hitting his ball. But it was still, you could tell. But it doesn't matter. Like 18, he got up on the last hole, in the 90th hole. The 90th hole we played, and he drove it probably. This tee shot started. I remember seeing it because when he hit it, I'm like, good Lord, that's pretty far left, and it faded at least 30 yards, and it rolled out to like 320. That's things that I can't do that ever. It's not going to happen. So you look at that and go, here he is, because I drove in the left rough. I had no chance to reach that green unless I hit a big low, nasty kind of diving hook out the right that rolled 50, 60 yards, but I missed it left, so I knew what was going to happen with me as far as the layout. But if he misses that tee shot, it's probably over. As far as, if he can't reach the green, it's just, then it's a battle of the third shot. It's probably over. But he didn't, and he had to have it because he had to have it. And it was he had 5-iron in there. I mean, it was ridiculous. So, yeah, but, just watching it and taking it all in and playing the best golf I could play. But you're right about the getting beat. A lot of Opens like that, a lot of not that there's been a lot of playoffs, but those can ruin careers. Okay, now I was 45 at the time, so I was, I'm almost ready to go to Champions Tour in 5 years. But if I would have, like I tell people, if I would have 3-putted 18 on Sunday, or if I'd have made a double bogey on 18 on Sunday, or something stupid happens, or in the playoff I make double on the last hole, or I hit in the lake with my wedge or something, my career is in danger because I just gave away the biggest event ever in front of the world right in the middle of the fairway. And that's happened to people. And beats like that hurt. I mean, it definitely hurt. But I knew I was going to recover because the test I had against me those 4 or 5 days, especially that Monday, I passed. Okay, I just got beat by, the best guy, whatever. But my point is I took a lot out of that all the stuff I worked on my whole life worked under the most intensive situations. And it worked pretty much for 5 days. So that told me I'm okay, but it did hurt for a while. It took me a while, but when I won in Fry's a couple of years later, that kind of set me free a little bit because I didn't want the Open to be it because I knew I was only 4 or 5, 6 more years on the regular tour. I'm gone.
Did you save anything from that 2008 U.S. Open?
I have. Well, the USGA has the hat because I had all my. I'm nuts when it comes to that stuff. I had pins, all the open pins from that week. Every open has different pins, right? So I got all the ones, and my player badge is on the side. So I gave that's in the museum. So they asked me for that. I said, well, of course you can have. No, I'm going to say no and take it home. But I gave it to them. So, not really. The medal they give you for second is obviously I have that. And that's really it. I didn't get, like I said, everybody makes fun about the picture, but I don't have a picture of him and I that I wanted personalized just so I could have it and to show people, because it's cool. To me, it's cool. But I really don't have much from that. Memories, that's huge. And 99.9% of them are good ones.
And good reason for that. Hey, Rocco, it's great to catch up with you. How you feeling?
Yeah, it's fun. I'm feeling great. I'm as fit as a fiddle. I'm as fit as I haven't been this fit in a while. So everything's good. I'm 55 and I'm hitting it as good as I've ever hit it. So having a blast out on this tour, the PGA Tour champions, we're having a ball. But it's, as you see, the scores are. It's just like playing the regular tour 25 years ago.
If I had you versus Tiger today for one round for the U.S. Open, how do you think you'd do 10 years later?
I think it'd be the same type of battle, but unfortunately for me, he's really swinging good right now.
and he's healthier.
He's really swinging good right now. Yes,
he doesn't have a broken leg.
No, he looks great. I mean, I think he's going to do crazy things. I mean, people look at me crazy again, but I'm like, this guy ain't done. I mean, I looked at the way he's swinging that golf club right now, and I've paid attention for a lot of years in a row watching him after our event. And it's good, and you can see what's going on. I mean, I think he's got amazing things coming, and I think he's going to He's going to shock the world, but not him.
Hey, Rocco, great to catch up with you. Thanks for joining us and reminiscing.
Anytime you need me.
All right, thank you, buddy. That's Rocco Mediate. That was a great story.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV or download the Dan Patrick Show app.